remove your hats and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night as our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Scott Slater, the Superintendent of Schools, to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Education, represented here today with Trustee Thomas and Trustee Widrick, and on behalf of the district, Assistant Superintendent Parsons and Principal Ginger, welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. Graduates. Yeah. Each and every one of you are absolutely amazing. Completing high school with all the normal challenges involved is an accomplishment in and of itself. Doing so through a global pandemic and the uncertainty this has created is monumental. The faculty, staff, and I grieve for not having you fill our hallways. We regret all the things that you missed out on, and we do so while we both miss and celebrate you. We are thankful that your families and you have remained relatively safe during this time. Today is about you. It's about your hard work, your dreams, your aspirations, and your future. It is a time to celebrate you. But before the celebration begins, I'm just going to ask you to stand up and turn around and look into the bleachers. Give a wave and give thanks to those here with you today who helped you get to this point in time. We celebrate your amazing accomplishments that I am so very confident will continue after graduation. We celebrate the privilege we had when our halls were filled with your successes, your mistakes, learning, laughter, and love. We celebrate the light, vitality, creativity, and strength you are all bringing to the future, our collective future. So congratulations. I'm so very proud of you. Take pride in your accomplishments and remember to give thanks to all the people that have helped you reach this goal. Stay safe and stay well. And now please enjoy the speeches from our honored graduates.
Welcome to graduation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. The last thing we need to end the year with is some cheesy speech about adaptation and resilience, or a serious speech about following our path in the face of adversity. We get enough of that already. Instead, I'm going to poke a little fun at us, at the situation, and at the world. It's been a crazy ride, and we've come out the other side with only a few screws loose, for the most part. But hey, the craziest things are usually the ones that end up causing big changes. So, Zoom, gotta love it, and all its cousins, right? It's been our best friend for months during this mess. In all seriousness, I do have to thank the teachers and administrators for doing their best to make this all work. They've gone above and beyond this year, and their efforts are appreciated. It's been hard on them, if the frustrated screams of my poor special ed teaching mother are any indication. Love you, Mom! Speaking of Mom, thanks to the parents for not killing us. You did not sign up to deal with our baloney all day, every day. So, the fact that you have since March is worthy of praise. Don't worry, we'll be out of your hair sooner or later. Hopefully sooner, for everyone's sakes. And thank you for everything before this, too. Your support, belief, and continued help have shaped us in more ways than can be stated. And now for something completely different. A brief look at the good things that have come out of this disaster. Number 1, sleep. Personally, I started getting 9 solid hours for the first time since middle school, when everything closed. While I do miss the scream of my phone's alarm waking me up at 6:30 every single morning, my desire for caffeine has never been less pressing. A win overall. Number 2, food. Video classes are a pain to deal with, but block your video and you can get away with murder. Well, okay, maybe not murder. You can get away with lunch, at least. Sometimes you can even leave your video on, if your teacher's the lenient type. Those mid-class snack cravings? Gone. Responsibility should win out most of the time, but it's nice to have the option. It's probably helped some students out, actually, since they're eating before they get distracted by their hunger. Just some food for thought. Number 3, nature. Things are looking up for the environment. People are looking up too, especially since they can finally see the sky past the smog. It's never been a better time to go outdoors. Just mind the wildlife that's making a comeback. We're in a great place to go out and enjoy the sunlight. Mother Nature's gotten a bit of a facelift this year, so we should take full advantage while we can. Finally, number 4, people. Once the masks come off, we're all going to be great at reading each other's faces. It's tough not being able to see someone's mouth when they're talking, and the inconvenience of enunciating through 3 layers of fabric is no fun. Fortunately, we make our own fun here, and the cover gives us the liberty of mouthing whatever we want, no matter how rude. You can even make a game out of it. How many times can you mouth the word waffle at the person you're talking to? My personal high score is going to remain off the record. For those of you struggling with foggy glasses due to the masks, I recommend miniature windshield wipers. Alternatively, prescription swim goggles. They make those somewhere, right? Life is insane. It's random, messy, chaotic, and likely to splash you in the face with a metaphorical bucket of water when you least expect it. This year has been a prime example of that. But that's no reason to mope. Instead, laugh. Life is crazy and random. So are people. So are jokes. Let's do our best to look at ourselves a year or 5 down the road and laugh at our mistakes, our luck, and our ridiculous senior year. Welcome to the textbooks of 2060, everybody. Let's make this one a class to remember. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone, to the graduation of the class of 2020. This is a proud moment for us all as we have moved successfully through this 4-year journey and are now ready to take the next exciting steps. I'm honored to stand here before you today to give thanks to this school and its staff for having supported us through our educational experiences. I'd like to personally thank Mrs. Winkler and Mrs. Cataldo for always taking the time to answer my questions and encouraging me as an aspiring scientist. First, thank you, Mrs. Winkler, for deepening my passion for biology and for helping to spark my curiosity with environmental, ecological, and wildlife studies. Also, thank you, Ms. Cataldo, for expanding my ways of thinking and for helping to develop me as a well-rounded learner. Without both of your assistance and guidance, I wouldn't be where I am today, and I couldn't be more grateful and appreciative. I'd also like to express gratitude to parents, families, and all those who have supported our learning along the way. Now for the class of 2020. We finally made it. After all the killer tests, late nights, after-school jobs, school events, sports, and, oh yeah, coronavirus, we did it. We're graduating. Sure, it wasn't always easy, but we never gave up no matter what we faced. We've worked hard and have grown together throughout the years as our persistence to push onward has been evident. The memories and friendships that we have made with our time at South Jeff will forever be our family of support that propels us into our futures. It's now our turn to go into the world and change it for the better. Endless possibilities lie ahead for us all, and I know that no matter what we face, the South Jefferson class of 2020 will continue to adapt to adversity, learn from our mistakes, remain hopeful during times of uncertainty, and strong during times of hardships. I know our persistence and resilience will take us far as individuals into the next chapter of our lives. With all that is going on in our world right now, it is sometimes easier to focus on the negative. However, I challenge and encourage each and every one of you to not give up on your dreams or your goals just because of the circumstances. Don't limit yourself because of what may seem out of reach right now. You've made it this far, and there's so much more ahead. Continue to fight for what you believe in, be a shoulder for someone to rest their head, and take pride in being a person that never gives up. Know that you will always be a part of not only the Spartan family, but the COVID class of 2020. Although our perfect 2020 vision couldn't have predicted this ending, I couldn't be prouder of how we have all handled what has been thrown our way. I'd like to leave you all with a quote by Art Linkletter, a famous radio and television personality, that states, "Things turn out best for people who make the best out of the way things turn out." Thank you for your time, and best of luck to everyone. I would now like to introduce Callie Privat, the Career and Technical Honor Graduate for the class, followed by our chosen faculty speaker, Mrs. Garza.
If I were asked what I believe to be the importance of hands-on training to be, specifically based off what is taught in most technical schools, well, that's simple. I'd say that it allows for the ability to gain knowledge that will be used later on in life, for real-life training in an environment that is designed to simulate generalized work experiences students might see in the field. Any chance to gain life skills is worth it in the end, especially if it is taught by an individual skilled in the trade, even if the class you enroll in isn't necessarily the career path you intend to take. It can save you time and money in the long run. For students who are planning on attending a university or simply want to head straight into the field, you are immediately employable. Tech schools also give students who might not thrive in a traditional educational system a chance to participate in something that they enjoy. It can create passion where it might not have been in the first place. Even those, like myself, who enjoy the other aspects of traditional education can excel at a trade program. There is no rule dictating who should or should not attend. Either way, no matter the student, it may open up opportunities that weren't there to begin with. It's a chance to try something out of your comfort zone and a chance to build relationships with people in similar situations and from different backgrounds. For instance, if I had not enrolled in the BOCES program, I never would have met one of my closest friends and an amazing group of people I now work with. All of us share a similar interest, which helped formulate bonds between us a lot faster than it would have in a different environment. We learned important skills in communication through working together as a team to solve problems. And if we had any problems within the group, they would be dealt with in a civilized manner. Unlike what people think about the students that go to technical schools, we aren't troubled youth. We don't need to be fixed. We are simply teenagers who learn best with hands-on training environments. And one thing that really helped were the instructors. Not only the ones within our programs, but all of the teachers, because they viewed us as young adults. We were always treated with respect and weren't treated like little kids, which is something I believe that all teachers should remember when dealing with students. Trade schools aren't reform schools. They're meant for everyone and anyone. I would encourage each and every student out there to roll up their sleeves and learn a trade. Whether you use it for a career or a lifelong hobby, you won't regret the decision. I'll see you in the shop.
Thank you for the honor of speaking with you today. Graduation is such an important milestone. We celebrate your achievements, but we also usher you into the next chapter of your lives, adulthood. When I think of that transition, I am reminded of the famous statue of Atlas. Many of you are familiar with the image, I'm sure, but for those of you who aren't, Atlas is depicted with his knees buckled, his back bent, the whole weight of the world on his shoulders. Adulthood can feel like that sometimes. The adults in your lives have most likely been conditioning you to be able to hold that weight for many years now. It started out simple: clean your room, cook a simple meal, wash your laundry. As you grew, presumably the tasks increased: get and keep a job, pay for a car, gas, insurance, etc. Other ways we prepared you might not have been as obvious, and at times might have felt downright painful. We asked you to know the difference between right and wrong. We held you accountable for your actions. We asked you to acknowledge your own missteps and to accept the consequences. If it felt like the adults were always on your case, well, we were. We knew what was coming. And because we care about you, we wanted you to be ready for the weight of the full responsibilities of life. We hoped that the redistribution of the weight to include your shoulders would be gradual. We thought we had more time. But then, a few months ago, abruptly, a boulder dropped on us all. And we couldn't hold it for you. We couldn't spare you from the weight. Since then, rock after rock after rock continued to fall. I am certain you are feeling the weight of it. We all hate that we couldn't protect you from this slide, but looking at you now gives me so much hope for the future. Because you are not buckled. You are not bowed. If anything, you're standing taller, more alert, more aware, and yes, stronger. Others might reflect on this and wonder, how? They're so young. They weren't ready for the weight. And for any other group, that might have been true, but not for this one. You have the skills, the knowledge, the strength. Yes, all of that is important. But what you have, most of all, what sets you apart, is heart. I see your heart, class of 2020, and it gives me so much hope. Now you stand at this major threshold of life where we're supposed to hand you the keys to the kingdom. Yet, all we have to offer feels like a fixer-upper. There's so much work to be done. For the first time in your lives, the adults will no longer be helping you, but asking for your help. Help us fix it. It's a lot to ask, I know. The work will not be easy. It will be so, so heavy. So when the time comes and you feel like Atlas and the weight of the whole world is on your shoulders, there's something I want you to know. In mythology, Atlas actually wasn't tasked with the weight of the world. He was asked to hold up the heavens. To this end, the heavens, by any belief, can be seen as a source of light, love, peace, and hope. And you're holding that in your hands, not on your backs. But if that classic image of Atlas prevails, and you still see him with his knees bent, his body strained, consider this. Perhaps we're looking at Atlas in the wrong way. Maybe he isn't struggling with the weight of the world. Maybe he is pushing back. So when the weight pushing down on you feels too heavy, remember your skills, remember your knowledge, remember your strength, remember your heart, and push back. Class of 2020, thank you for the laughter, the tears, the memories, and thank you so much for the hope. Congratulations. I am so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Garza. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Congratulations to the graduates for achieving a key milestone in your lifelong education. Congratulations to our parents, families, and teachers for getting you this far. During your last 4 months, school has been about mentorship and making mistakes, feedback and reflection, guidance and growth. We focus less on the end product, that diploma you're all here for, and more on problem solving and process. And we've adjusted together. This time hasn't been about what we've given you, but rather about what you've chosen to take from us and what you've chosen to do with it. You've been responsible for your own growth in ways that other students never have. From here on out, you'll be given guidance, but only you can decide what your path will be. As you've discovered during this time of digital learning, you can Google the answer to almost any question we can ask you on a quiz or a test. But you can't ask the computer to tell you who you are, what you see as right and wrong, how you want to be viewed and remembered by others, and what your greater mission is. We can't give you these answers, but we have, I believe, prepared you for the process of answering them for yourselves. Godspeed to you all. I want to take a few moments to recognize the accomplishments of the class of 2020. As I mention your name or accomplishment, please stand to be recognized. Our valedictorian, Holly Young. Salutatorian, Abby Pittick. CTE honor graduate, Callie Pravat. This class has 49 inductees into the National Honor Society. If you're one of them, please stand. Thank you. The class of 2020 has 43 honor graduates. We're going to have to tell you every time? Thank you. We have 29 students receiving a career or technical endorsement. Thank you. 45 members of the class of 2020 are receiving local scholarships. They're included in your program. There are 6 students enlisting in the armed forces and 1 student attending a military academy. Please stand. I also want to take a moment to recognize any active duty military or veteran family members in the audience. Thank you for sharing your students with us. Thank you all for your service, past, present, and future. We have 3 recipients of the Seal of Biliteracy: Andrew Thomas in Spanish, Holly Young in French, and Evelyn Bivens, one of 2 students in the state to receive the Seal of Triliteracy in Spanish and French and English. 10 members of this class received perfect attendance in 1 or more year. Carter Pooler, 8 years, perfect attendance. James Weller, 5 years, perfect attendance. 2 years of perfect attendance, Annabelle Kumsa and Madeline Stoll. And with 1 year of perfect attendance, Mia Buckingham, Joshua Kinney, Peyton Loya, Maria Pichianti, Callie Pravat, and Alexander Runkles. Congratulations to you all for your individual and collective accomplishments. You have the weight of adulthood to look forward to and the strength to carry the load. Push back and create a new future for us all. Thank you sincerely for all you've done and all you will accomplish. At this time, I'm happy to introduce to you the officers of the class of 2020, Abby Pittick, Jasmine Bloom, Hannah Babcock, and Morgan Keeney. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Abby Pittick, and I'm the president of the class of 2020. First, I'd like to welcome family, friends, teachers, administration, and everyone else who has helped shape the class of 2020. Although today we graduate in unlikely circumstances, that doesn't mean our hard work and accomplishments are any less than if we were all crowded in the gymnasium. We still have the memories and experiences that have helped shape us as individuals and define us as a class of resilience. I'd like to mention a quote by Dieter F. Uchtdorf that states, "It's your reaction to adversity, not adversity itself, that determines how your life story will develop." With all that we have been through in these past couple of months and our 4 years at South Jeff, I think this quote speaks for the class of 2020. One lesson that I have learned is there are many things in life you can't control, but how you respond to these things is what defines one's character. Being able to look on the positive side and see a situation for what good could come out of it is key characteristic when it comes to resilience. I believe our class has exemplified positivity and resilience even when it wasn't easy. Our stories are just beginning, and I know that we each will face hardships as our lives unfold. This being said, I hope we continue to turn to others for support. No matter what life throws our way, we choose to remain optimistic in life's adversity. And now I'll introduce Jasmine Bloom, our class vice president, speaking on flexibility.
Thank you, Abby. It's fairly evident that each member of the class of 2020 has had to show resilience throughout our 4 years. And through these challenges we faced, we've had to remain flexible. Flexibility is a key characteristic in a resilient person. It's also a key part in getting a 5 in yoga with Coach Fuller. The ability to adapt to changing conditions is essential in growing up. A quote by the American author Tony Robbins explains it better than I can. He said, "Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach." I hope that you will all remember this as we part our separate ways. As each of us embark on our own separate journeys and career paths, I hope that you remain flexible in your decisions, but don't let others decide for you. Consider all the possibilities before making a choice, and never settle for anything less than what you deserve. As we move on past high school and begin this next chapter of our lives, I wish you all the best in every step you take. And now I'd like to introduce the class of 2020 treasurer, Hannah Babcock.
Hi. Resiliency is a highly sought-after characteristic, and because of this, it is not an overly common quality. Different people experience different challenges, some more impactful than others. Some experience significant setbacks that make it nearly impossible to accomplish the same things as their counterparts. Resiliency, however, is not exclusively about the magnitude of the challenge. Yes, an individual must experience a challenge in order to be resilient, but an individual is not resilient simply because they have experienced a setback. To me, a truly resilient individual has the emotional resilience to look at the causes and effects of the challenge, the privileges they have despite this challenge, and the ability to differentiate between what they can control and what they cannot. In the face of obstacles, it is important to sit back and reflect on the privileges you have in that moment, as well as the ones you will have in the future. As a class, we have definitely faced setbacks, but we are still here today in some format enjoying our graduation. We have been given the tools to make it to where we are today, and that is something we should be tremendously grateful for. The same cannot be said for many of our counterparts of color, especially in low-income areas whose schools have not been funded in the same way ours have, as school budgets are collected from community taxes. In order to honor the individuals who have been negatively impacted by racism, I would like to recognize George Floyd, Yolanda Thomas, Xavier Tyrell Johnson, Darrell Banks, Cedric Chapman, and Quintine Barksdale, who are only a fraction of the men and women of color who have been silenced for violence goes beyond systemic racism within inner city schools, impacting even rural communities such as our own, as lack of exposure to different experiences and lived perspectives often results in the unconscious continuation of racism. Moving forward, I challenge each and every one of you to acknowledge your privilege while facing future challenges. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of graduation, and I would now like to introduce Morgan Keeney, our class secretary.
Resilience can't be described in a single word. It's a mixture of positivity, flexibility, gratitude, and patience. Patience, based off the first definition on Google, is the ability to accept delay, trouble, or suffering without becoming upset or angry. Being patient isn't easy. It's something that a lot of people don't have in this world right now. But when I look at our class and all that we've endured these past 12 years, I would say we're the most patient out there. You made through all those years of schooling, and you made through the end without giving up. You've struggled in class, you've failed some tests, and you probably even thought of just giving up. But no, here you are, entering a new chapter in your life. That's patience. Being able to get through the rough and rigid without losing sight of what you want and how you're going to get there. I get it though, this isn't what we expected this year to turn out, but us still going through this graduation is proving my point. Paulo Coelho says, I have seen many storms in my life. Most storms have caught me by surprise. So I had to learn very quickly to look further and understand that I'm not capable of controlling the weather, to exercise the art of patience and to respect the fury of nature. We cannot control what's thrown our way, but if we are patient and understanding as it passes, that makes us stronger and more ready for the next hit. We're patient and that makes us resilient. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Officers. Now for the presentation of the graduates. Mr. Slater and the Board of Education, I present to you the South Jefferson High School graduating class of 2020. And I certify that they have met the requirements set forth by the New York State Board of Regents for the honors bestowed upon them today. Please prepare for the presentation.
David M. Adamzeski completed a program in auto tech at the Bolin Technical Center and will be entering the workforce. Hunter M. Alberry, SUNY Canton, Technological Communications. Jaden O. Allison, Jefferson Community College, Liberal Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. Andrew B. Amel, Syracuse University, Sports Management. Tanner R. Amel, SUNY Canton, Construction Technology and Management. Hannah E. Babcock, SUNY Geneseo, Mathematics. Ryan M. Barney, completed a program in building project at the Bolin Technical Center and will be entering the workforce. Cole W. Bennett, Clarkson University, Engineering and Management. Colby T. Besaw, completed a program in visual communications at the Bolin Technical Center and will be entering the workforce. Evelyn M. Bibbins, St. Lawrence University, Foreign Language. Talon M. Bickham, SUNY Oswego, Childhood Education. Callie M. Blanchard, Jefferson Community College, Liberal Arts, Humanities, and Social Science. Jasmine M. Bloom, University at Buffalo, Psychology. Ready? Caleb R. Brigham, completed a program in carpentry and masonry at the Bolin Technical Center and will be entering the workforce. Connor C. Brown, completed a program in liberal arts and will be entering the Army. Mia N. Buckingham. University of Albany, biology. Skaya H. Bucher. Lemoyne, nursing. Remy B. Bunker, serving a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, followed by Brigham Young University, biology. Donovan J. Bunn, Jefferson Community College, business. Seth E. Burgess, completed a program in carpentry at the Bolin Technical Center and will be entering the workforce. Morgan S. Burt, SUNY Canton, nursing. Maddie M. Chamberlain, Cayuga College, forensic psychology. Kaylee M. Clark, Jefferson Community College, Allied Health, Biological Sciences. Marlo S. Cook, Nazareth College, Communication Sciences and Disorders. Skylar E. Cross, Herkimer Community College, Early Childhood Education.
Thank you, Ms. Cumming. At this time, could the graduates please stand? And together, if you would, please turn the tassels from the right of your cap to the left. Congratulations. You're now all officially alumni of South Jefferson High School. In just a moment, the graduates will recess. This is the conclusion of our ceremony. I ask that parents and guests please remain seated until the graduates exit the field, and we will dismiss you by row. I ask that people maintain a distance of 6 feet as you exit the grounds, please. Graduates are asked to deposit their graduation gowns, cords, and sashes in the appropriate receptacle as you leave. Please pick up your graduation packets and your diplomas on the way out. Thank you again, everyone. Travel safely.